Hello everyone, welcome back to Paid for College, where we're all about helping you to avoid crazy student loan debt. My name is Tanika Mangum and I am your scholarship coach, and we are back. We are back with another year because another academic year is on the way, and I am more dedicated than ever to help you to avoid and to navigate how to pay for college without the debt. So today we're talking about preparing for scholarships, which is my favorite topic, and it will be yours too, because you want to have as much free possible money as you can. Okay, so I have my notes here. There are a couple of things that I really want to make sure that you understand on how to prepare to apply to scholarships effectively so that you can be successful and get to the bag. So this is probably going to be a part 2 video, a part 1 and a part 2. So we're going to start with part 1 today. And we are in the month of September, right before October starts, which is also when the FAFSA opens on October 1st. But today we're talking about how to prepare for scholarships. So the very first thing is, let's talk about the materials that you need. Now, this is probably going to be the most important thing. Number one, you need your materials. They is what's going to help you to market who you are to the scholarship organizations, and for you to be able to successfully apply without all the stress. Some of the things that most students fear is the time commitment when it comes to applying for scholarships. But if you are organized, which is what this video is about, if you are organized and prepared to apply to scholarships, then all of that goes out the window and you don't have an excuse for you to not apply for scholarships. So what do you need? Well, one, you need your transcript, right? Now, there are 2 different types of transcripts. There is the first, which is your unofficial transcript. Your unofficial transcript is something that you can just go to on your website. Maybe there's a school page that you go to, or your account, where you can just download and you have access to everything that you've done up into your point. So whether you're a high school senior, high school junior, high school sophomore, yeah, I said it. We're not just talking about high school seniors right now. We're talking about everyone, even if you're in college right now. If you are looking to get free money to pay for college, this is the time, and you will need access to your transcript. Now, there's also a official transcript. Now, official transcript, it's different because that's required from a counselor, and there is a stamp of approval, which calls a sealed envelope, in order for it to be official, meaning that you can't get the sealed envelope and then start opening it. That makes it unofficial again, okay? So official transcript is the sealing of that transcript that only the people who are going to open it have eyes to view it. So you want to make sure that you have access to both, meaning if there's a process for you to actually get an official transcript, because the scholarship is asking for that, you want to know what that process is. Who is the guidance counselor you're supposed to talk to? Who is the high school counselor or the school counselor you're supposed to get that? Is there a system where you have to request that in order to receive it? Those are all things that you should figure out right now. And for an unofficial transcript, you just want to make sure that you have access to it. Where do we need to go to be able to download and or print out your transcript? The second thing that you need, and probably very important, is your recommenders. Now, recommendation letters are always going to be something that is going to be required for a lot of scholarships and even your college applications. So it's super important, though, that we do not overlook the one word, which is positive. We want a positive letter of recommendation. Now, you're probably thinking, Tanika, that's obvious, but reality, many of you are just asking folks because they're a teacher or they've taught this class or they know you for a little bit, but you don't actually know if they're going to write you a positive recommendation. So you want to ask that. Hey, well, don't say hey, say Miss or Mr. or I want to talk to you a little bit, professionalism here, okay? But you want to ask them, are they able to provide a positive letter of recommendation? If they start getting all like, or being like, I don't know if I can, Don't get mad and say, what you mean you don't know. Just be grateful, because they could have just told you, yeah, I can write it, or you didn't ask them that at all, and now they're writing something for you you think is going to be a good glowing review of you, but it actually isn't. So you want to be grateful for that. Now, if they're saying, the recommender is saying, well, I would like to, I think you're a great kid, but I don't know a lot about you, then this is your time to say, well, okay, let's schedule time to sit down so I can tell you more about my story, about who I am, what I hope to be, what are my goals and aspirations, where I want to go, all of those different things. So take the opportunities to create a relationship, so that way you'll get a good flowing positive letter of recommendation. The third thing that you need is a resume. So a resume is just an overview of what you've been doing in your last 4 years. So you really want to make sure that you have something strong to be able to indicate, this is where I went to high school, this is where I'm going to college, or if I'm already enrolled in college, this is where I'm currently at. These are the classes that I've taken. These are the extracurricular activities I've been in. Here's a community service that I've done. Here's the leadership that I've done. All the things. This is your brag sheet. You want to make sure that it's one page. One page of good stuff. We'll do a whole separate video on resumes later, but you probably should have that handy in case they ask it, especially if you're applying to internships. And the next thing that you need is a headshot. Okay, let's talk about headshots and photos. This is not where you just take your senior photo and just like, okay, here's my professional headshot. It is just a good, clean offering of you. We don't want nothing that's overpowering. We don't need the whole face beat. We don't need all of that. We just need something that looks good, looks clean, represents who you are, and is something for them to be able to post. Now, you want to make sure that you're okay with this photo being posted, because if they're asking for it, most likely will be put on their website or some kind of mailing or promotion to say this is who we awarded for these scholarships. So you want something good. So make sure that you're presentable, okay? It should be from the shoulders up, okay? You want to make sure that you're smiling or have some kind of good welcoming presence to you, right? So you want to make sure that you have that for your applications. And lastly, essays. Yep, you thought I was going to skip that. No, I will not. Essays. A lot of scholarships are going to be asking for essays. Now, many of them may even just say, oh, we don't need the essay. We just want you to tell us. Just like I'm telling you what's happening right now or what you should have to prepare for scholarships, they will have essays that are going to say, tell us about yourselves. Tell us what you want to do. What are your aspirations? So you want to make sure that you have your essays prepared in written form, but you also want to have sure that you have notes for what you can do for when you are speaking in front of a camera to share who you are. So that's all the first things. Now, the second category of things that you need is you really need to make sure that you sit down and say, all right, what kind of opportunities am I eligible for? The only way that you know what kind of opportunities you're eligible for is that you have your big scholar profile. Yes, that's what I called it, a big scholar profile. This basically is everything that you've done within the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years that really highlights your strengths. So things that you're interested in, your demographics, your family life, any challenges that you've had, any successes that you've had, any accomplishments that you've had, any opportunities that are unique, things that are very unique to you, things that you're very interested in and passionate about, what county you're on. All of these things will help you find scholarships because there are scholarships based on all of those things, right? So you want to make sure that you're listing out everything about you so that way it's easier for you to search for opportunities that match that are best for you. And lastly, to close out this part one, is we want to have a scholarship tracker. Now, if you thought you were just going to apply for scholarships and then not keep track of the ones that you applied to, then you're probably doing this all wrong, okay? You want to keep track of all of your scholarships because you want to see what have I won, what am I in pending to win or that I need to follow up with, see if I won. And also, what did I not win and why? Maybe you want to look to see what could I have done better? What kind of essay could I have included? Could I have done something? Was that a rush project where I just submitted something and then I expected to win? These are all things that you want to review, but you want to have a tracker. The tracker will allow you to keep track of everything. Now, I'm going to create in the chat, because I'm helping for you today, I'm going to create a 2020-23 monthly scholarship tracker for you, so that way you're able to really see everything and know, all right, this is exactly what I've applied to, this is what I'm able to have right now, and that I'm able to really make sure that I'm being focused on that. Okay, so with that being said, I want you to get ready for part 2, because part 2, I'm going to dive into how do you be prepared electronically for scholarships. So we're going to take that monthly tracker, which I'm going to leave right down in the description box for you, that you're going to start with that. And I'm going to give you all the organization and how to stay organized on your computer. How do I make sure that I'm not missing deadlines? How do I make sure that I'm being clear about what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and I can maximize this opportunity to apply to more scholarships than I thought I could possibly apply to, and do it without the stress. Okay, so part 2 is coming up. So I'm looking forward to this. Keep this, save this, subscribe, share with a friend who's preparing to go to college or is in school now and needs some money, because we are all about getting the big dollars this year. Okay, we're going big this year, so I want you to be prepared for that. All right, let's go.